I walked out of the church in utter chaos, kids running and screaming with Roman candles shooting everywhere. Moments later, a girl ran up to me panicking about being hit in the head.
No.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Youth Group Chronicles. We have some special guests in the studio with us tonight. Mindy, Spencer, and after 622 days of absence on Youth Group Chronicles, we finally have them back, everybody, after so many requests. Pastor Chad Spencer, welcome back to the studio.
Who requested?
Thank you. I'm so excited that one person requested me. It was actually myself. I made a new username and just said, "Hey, where's that Chad guy?"
Yeah, we only got one request. It probably was him. But if this is your first time listening to Youth Group Chronicles, this is where people will send in their youth ministry stories to the podcast, and we read them here on the show. And my guests blind react to them. They've never heard them before. And let's kick this off. This is from Andrew. He said, I had a group of students approach me asking if I could help them pull off their senior prank. They gave me the details, but they never got to the premise. I'm the youth pastor of our private school, which is connected to our church. And the actual classrooms run below the school and a little bit into the church. And it so happened that the central office, or at least part of it, was out in the open for anyone to go into when the church was open. They told me that on Sunday, they wanted to sneak into this central office and leave a clue to their real prank, which they never told me about, on the principal's computer. Keep in mind, the passwords for all the school technology are all the same, beginning with the school name and their initials. I said, sure, but asked them to tell me what the real prank was so I knew what I was getting myself into. They stammered as they explained that their plan was to unplug all the TVs in our media center. Come to find out, this is not what happened at all. Apparently, they hacked into the principal's computer and deleted all the Google Classroom pages for the teachers, switched the only Wi-Fi password for the entire building, and put some not-so-great photos on the school website.
Oh, no.
Then they left a note on the principal's chair saying to call my number, claiming that was the number of the person who did it.
No.
Oh, my goodness.
That's awful.
That's terrible. And it's a Christian school?
Done.
I would imagine no backups of all the schooling, but
yeah, no.
Oh my gosh.
They're terminated immediately. No longer on staff.
They pranked me. Yeah, right, guy.
Man.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Do we think that they believe the actual guy who got pranked, or did the students end up going? That's what I want to know.
Oh my gosh.
No, that guy got fired.
Yeah, he's done.
No
He's
questions
done.
asked.
Yeah, no questions asked.
That is a lesson.
I'm curious about the pictures on the website.
I want to know
because that determines a whole.
They're
lot.
probably mild.
It does.
Probably mild would be my guess. But the most concerning
Christian
thing to
school,
me,
though.
yeah, maybe not. The most concerning thing, all the schooling gone, all the teachers' notes, everything.
Yeah.
Gotta have a backup.
That's like more than a prank. That's a criminal prosecution right there.
No
oh my
school
goodness.
For weeks.
Welcome to Instagram Live, Kenneth, Oliver, Bree, Isaac. How's it going, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Christian school kids are wild. Actually, dude, I've heard a lot of stories about Christian
specifically
schools.
Catholic school kids.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard much of that.
Nothing good about them.
Nothing.
The
exact opposite of homeschool kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you saying that homeschool kids are good?
Most
No,
of them.
I'm saying that their favorite teacher was their mom.
It's true.
And pretty much their only experience.
Aren't your kids literally homeschooled?
No, they're not in school yet.
Okay.
They're homeschooled.
And their mom's hot, so it doesn't matter.
They're homeschooled.
They are.
Both of our kids are homeschooled.
These guys have, ever since I've known them, which is very funny, they have always ragged on homeschoolers. We got a lot of homeschoolers in the chat.
Listen,
However,
I say ragging
both their
on them.
homes.
Okay,
both
I
their
talk
kids.
trash to my kids. I say, you're homeschooled.
Yeah,
What are you
actually,
talking about?
Mindy, that is very true. That is
it's
very true.
hard because Mindy's level of homeschooling.
We're besties. Careful.
The level that Mindy can homeschool her kids is like very low. So she's going to get capped out
There
real
it is.
quick. We made it one story in. I'm sorry.
You did it.
And so she's immediately going to hit that threshold when Sophia's in like second grade.
Sophia's in 5th.
Okay, yeah. See, my point is being made right now. She hasn't learned a thing for 3 years.
It's crazy.
So
I'll get
people
Sophia
probably don't
right
realize
now.
this. These two have never been on the show together. However, they
true.
have quite a bit of history. They are
It's true.
in-laws.
Yes.
So
Best in-laws.
Best
Mindy
in-laws.
is married to Pastor Chad's brother.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so this might be a fun night. This might be fun.
It's going to be good.
It'll be great.
If you guys have stories you'd like to send into the show, stories@ygcpodcast.com is where you can send them in. I'm just reading all the comments. There's a lot of homeschoolers right now. I
Hey.
feel seen.
You know?
I will talk all the
Homeschoolers go
trash.
hard.
But
Yo,
they do
okay,
go
someone
hard.
said this.
And they're not as weird these days. I will give you that.
That's true. Someone said not all Christian school kids are Christian. That's
true.
actually part of the issue, I think.
Yeah.
It is.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Let me
Definitely
ask all the
part
homeschoolers, what was your favorite band growing up?
What'd they say? Are you asking them their favorite band?
Uh-huh.
Ooh,
Chat,
I bet
let's
it
see.
What
starts
was your favorite
with
band?
an S and ends with an illet. Am I right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Not until he was 16.
Not till I was 16. No, probably
Went
right.
too hard.
Chat, what is it? What is it? This is going to be a NF, okay? You're allowed to listen to
NF?
NF as a homeschooler?
What are you, 3?
21 Pilots? You're allowed to listen to 21 Pilots?
Veggie Tales.
There's a skillet. Okay.
Skillet, yes. For today.
Wow, you guys are listening to some crazy bands.
Yeah,
My
you're
Chemical
not
Romance,
Christian
that's
homeschool
wild.
kids, I can tell you that.
Stephen Curtis Chapman, that's more homeschool.
Oh,
There we go.
There we go. We're getting there.
This is a story from
Toby
Jacob. He said, when my wife was in youth group, she wanted to call into a local Christian radio station for their fundraiser. She thought she had the number memorized, so she didn't write it down. However, the number this sheltered homeschooler dialed was a phone sex hotline. Speaking of homeschoolers.
Shining.
No, she did not have that memorized.
This must have been like home phone time.
I don't know about that. I mean, 10 years ago, they're still doing like the call-ins for the radio.
Oh, is that it? There's like no more? I wanted to hear how
No,
the phone call
no.
went.
They left the rest off.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
gosh.
rest is, you can make up the rest of that story.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
use your imagination on that one. Always a homeschooler. Yes, it is.
It is. It's true.
What'd you say? Call it now. Oh my gosh.
No, don't do that, please.
Oh, gosh.
This is from Brett. Brett said, our youth group was staying the night in our church when the senior boys started to get a little rambunctious. The classrooms they were staying in had access to our church's attic, and they decided to go exploring. However, they weren't at all quiet about it and kept waking up the other boys. Some of our leaders were bound and determined to make the seniors behave and go to bed. So this leader camped out in front of their room and would tell them to get down from the attic and go to bed when they got too loud. After the 5th or 6th time of getting the boys out of the attic, it got very quiet. Suddenly, I heard a door open, a loud thud, and what sounded like water hitting the ground, followed by my leader screaming.
Oh, gosh.
Apparently, one of the senior boys had snuck back into the attic and found a small kiddie pool with rubber ducks that we had used for our fall carnival. Whoever put the ducks up there didn't drain the pool, and the water sat in our attic fermenting for months. The kids' plan was to put ducks around the leader and see how many they could get on him before he woke up. However, this kid tripped over him when coming down from the attic and dumped about 50 of these rancid, pea-smelling duckies all over the sleeping leader.
No, dude. That's nasty.
That's disgusting.
The first thing the guy yelled was, "Is this pee?" That's how bad it smelled.
I bet
when
he
he
didn't
woke up.
say that.
No, that's filthy. Oh my!
I honestly just don't believe the kid.
No, you know, it reminds me of when the one church conference they did like 200 baptisms in one night, and you think about that water afterwards
It was
Disgusting.
and the color that it was,
Ask Buddy
Nope.
next time.
and the floaties in it.
Mm-mm.
Just imagine that just sitting in an attic baking.
Because you know
That's
it's a
true.
bunch of kids playing in this little kiddie pool at a, what is it, their church fair?
Yeah,
Snot,
That's nasty.
fingers. No, I'm good.
just yeah.
Bacon in the attic for
That's
3 months.
disgusting.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Yo, so we did our most recent episode was up in Rochester. We did a live show,
Okay.
and episode 10, there was the goldfish story, right? Where we had like the goldfish in the blender. There was another story sent in, and it always reminds me because Pastor Chad was on that episode of the blender. The guy did the same analogy, except his goal was to remove the top of the blender really fast after he started.
Mm-hmm.
So it was not to kill the fish. He's
Right.
like, this is like a hand of God moment. But he didn't practice it at home.
Oh man.
And he pressed the button and tried to rip the blender off the top of it and blended the fish in front of all the kids.
Oh. You know what the problem is? These blenders are high tech now.
They
Like
are.
there used to be like a delay
Yeah,
when you pushed it.
it's
Now
Not
it
now.
emulsifies immediately.
Mhm.
Literally. As soon as that story came in, it always
Yep.
flashes back to the very OG goldfish story.
That was
And
the
that was
first one.
Pastor Chad was on that
Did
episode,
we
season
get
1.
PETA on that one or no?
No, I'm shocked we haven't gotten PETA on more episodes. to be honest.
There's something about youth pastors and goldfish.
They just
that-
have a pass.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
And
Really
actually,
true.
remember the first one when we shared it. Everybody at first thought it was the goldfish
The
snack.
cracker.
Yeah, the cracker.
The
They
cra-
didn't
yep.
think it was the actual fish.
No.
And then they
real
watched
fish.
it a couple times and they're
And they're
like,
like,
oh, wait.
Wait, it wasn't the snack that smiles back. No, it was the real deal.
Someone just said, I'm more impressed that someone put a pool of water up in an attic. Yeah, which
Yeah.
is more lazy? Leaving it or carrying the full pool all the way up to the attic? You could have literally just dumped
No,
it.
that sounds like a youth pastor that said, "Interns, I need
Interns.
you.
They were interns.
Interns, I need you to handle this pool of water right here.
Yeah,
I
that
need
was-
you to get rid of it."
That was the interns.
And some
Always
13-year-old
interns.
kid thought, "Hey, you know what?
yeah.
It's better if we just put it in the attic."
We'll do it later, right?
Yeah, we'll
Eh, it'll
we'll get
dry.
it
Someone
next
will
week.
take care of it.
It'll
Yeah.
dry.
We
Uh-huh.
put it in the attic. They didn't say anything about draining it. This is
That's
from Kimberly. So you haven't done this, but we're doing something new on the show where I'll read the first couple sentences of the story. And you two have to give your best guess as to what you think is coming
Oh, I'm
next.
stoked for this. This is going to be good.
So Kimberly said, I'm the interpreter for my Spanish-speaking church. And one week, our American guest speaker was passionately yelling from the pulpit. He was saying, don't be a spiritual sissy, which I accidentally interpreted to our Spanish-speaking congregation very loud and proudly, this.
I can't
I
say
can't
that.
say it out loud. I literally can't say it out loud. Yeah.
Are we all thinking the same thing?
Yeah, every
yeah.
single one of us.
Yes.
She directly translated that as don't be a, just fill in the blank
Yes.
that every single person is thinking in the planet. A cat. Yes. And everybody stopped in shock and awe.
yeah.
Chat, where are we at? Let's see.
Oh,
Fill in the
come on.
blank. Somebody
I don't know.
write it in there for us. Yeah, there
Just
we go.
write it.
Jamie Bird.
Don't
said,
be
I
a
don't
spiritual
care about
kitty cat."
any political correctness. Let me just put it in there.
Oh, they're saying in Spanish. Uh-oh.
Gato.
Oh God.
The other
Oh,
cat.
gato.
Yeah, don't actually say it.
Oh, they're saying it.
Oh yeah. No, they don't care at all.
All right, here we go.
Don't be a
I'm the
Don't be a
inter-
spiritual woman. That's
be a-
wild.
a spiritual kitty cat. That's crazy.
Don't be a spiritual sissy, which I accidentally interpreted to our Spanish congregation very loud and proud. Don't be spiritual fags.
You know. Also, don't be that. I
Also.
think that's it. Like,
So
there's,
all
there's
of
a
you were
point there.
way wrong.
Yeah,
Hey,
we're wrong.
if we were in America, that's what they would have said.
She does make a good point, though.
What would they have said in America?
No, don't be spiritual fags. That's
That is true.
That was
Yes.
What?
All right, this is also something new for you, Pastor Chad. This is our mailbag segment. This is where people send in some questions to the show, and we answer them live here on the podcast.
Perfect.
This is from We Told. Everyone has some weird usernames. I got to say
They're
that.
made up just
Very
to ask the
weird.
questions.
Speaking of homeschoolers, this is a question we got. Who's better, public schoolers or homeschoolers?
Man, in what context?
Yeah.
So that's what I was wondering too.
Like
Are we thinking,
having
like,
a conversation
academically?
with a regular person. Yeah, probably a public school kid.
I don't know.
You know.
Probably most days, yeah.
Yeah,
What?
like who's a better Christian? Probably a homeschool kid.
Okay,
Mhm.
better Christian, possibly a homeschool kid. Everyone's saying public. Wow.
Nowadays, who's smarter? Probably the homeschool kid.
Yeah, passing their SATs. Probably a public school kid.
They don't
Yeah,
have to
I-
take SATs if
I
you're
went.
homeschooled.
Confession. I went in for a PSAT, like the practice test,
Yeah,
and I didn't know. Like I was in there for like 3 hours, and I was just
Mm-hmm.
guessing every single one. I was like, this is pointless. I'm not going to college anyway. Why am I even here? And that was my only time ever going into a public school in school hours. It was the weirdest thing. I lined up with all the kids outside because we had to go and take it with like public schoolers. Went into a classroom, very odd, and that was my only experience ever in public school.
Oh my
Man.
gosh.
And I
Did you
botched it.
Did you fail? Can you
Oh,
publicly
my
share
mom
your
did-
number?
If we did really bad at the test, my mom would never.
publicly share
My
your
mom would
number?
never let us see the test. She'd be like, "Yep, so like you guys, you had your test." And I'm like, I wanted to see it because I'm
It
like
was
always
a
trying
good
to do.
practice round.
It
You
was
know,
a-
everybody's a winner here.
Yep.
Oh,
There's no
Samuel.
high scores or low scores. There's just trying your best.
I only was allowed to see the test that I did really good on, and that's when I knew I absolutely flunked it.
Mm,
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably playing sports, public school kids, because they had a
Probably
sports
better.
league.
So that yeah, but in
street
PA,
smarts,
but in PA,
public school kids.
homeschoolers were allowed to play public school sports, and I think that's changing in New York now too.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh, that was the
no.
one they were voting on.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it's not happening. Move to Pennsylvania, I guess. This is another
Or
question.
Florida.
This is
Hey, yo.
from Jonathan. Jonathan said, who on the show is all related and how are they related? First off, Mindy and Pastor Chad are both related.
Yeah, we are.
I made a list because no one really like knows how it intertwines. So we have Mindy, Chad, Pastor Cody, Antonio, Micah, and Pastor Spencer are all family. Shaw and Lauren, they're married. Gabe and John are brothers. Are Ja, Mason, and Buddy related in any way? Or are one of those three related?
No. They're just
I
good
thought they
friends.
were cousins for some reason. All right. So they're not. Jalen and Mackenzie are married, and then Mackenzie and Dustin are siblings, and then Aaron and Tim are brothers. So a lot of related people. I was looking back. I didn't think it was that many. A ton.
That's what happens in small town. Everybody just gets a little more related every single year.
Oh, man.
And then this is from Aaron. Aaron said, have any of these stories personally happened to you? So thinking back to like stories you've seen in the podcast, have any of these actually happened to you? I'm going to go first. No, thank God. Every single story, I've never had one of these happen to me.
I'm really trying to remember. I swear growing up that I had one of my youth pastors eat a goldfish.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did your dad try to kill a fish?
No.
I feel like he's definitely done that.
Swallowed
He's
them.
probably done that. I've like took those out of my brain and like washed them. But like I guarantee one of my youth pastors definitely ate a goldfish.
For sure.
Yeah, I've never
guy
seen
before
anybody do it
him.
either.
I'm trying to. Yeah.
I've seen people do well, actually, I don't even think I have. I've seen them eat gross things, but I've never participated in it. Because I know we get some of those. It's like they'll blend something on stage, like a Fear Factor thing.
Yeah.
I've never done it. Thank God.
We did Fear Factors all the time.
Oh yeah.
I didn't participate
We
in
ran
them.
them.
But
I've
we
never done the
had
other
kids.
side.
We had a girl win like every single one. She funneled hot sauce.
There's always that one kid that
Gravy.
just doesn't care.
No, remember, Jade? We did one, and a kid, a grown man actually ate like worms. Like everybody
Oh,
else
yeah, we
was
did
grossed out
that.
by the worms, and
Cow
this dude
tongue.
slurped it like a gummy worm, and then they had to eat a cow tongue.
Yeah, we had cow tongue.
That
And
has
this-
got to be the most popular
We did
gross
cow
thing
tongue,
for youth
too.
groups is a cow tongue.
And I'm telling you, like people bashfully eat it, but this man like inhaled it with no
No.
shame
Mhm.
and was solid.
No.
So yeah, I mean we had a couple.
We
wild
did blue
ones.
eggs.
The what are they? Blue
Oh,
eggs?
that's filthy.
The blue eggs.
That'd make me puke.
Mm-mm. No, I remember
Mhm.
the Fear Factor you did. It wasn't youth group, but it was young adults. You had me build
Yep.
boxes.
Mhm.
They were ghetto.
Oh yeah.
And they like broke when people were like trying to do it. But
Put their hands
yeah,
in and
to put
stuff.
their hands in. Pastor Chen was like, hey, I
Yes.
just need you to build these. I'm like, yeah, I can handle it.
Yeah.
He never asked me to build anything again. That's how bad it was.
First
Those-
and the last.
but those
time.
Fear Factor nights, somebody said they're mental. They are like they're probably criminal now in the world.
Yeah.
I
we
would
live in.
imagine.
Yeah. It's true.
If you guys have questions you'd like to send into the show, questions at ygcpodcast.com is where you can submit them. All right, let's get back to some stories here. This is from Yanina. Our youth group had a 4th of July night end up becoming a firework war in our church parking lot. I walked out of the church in utter chaos, kids running and screaming with Roman candles shooting everywhere. Moments later, a girl ran up to me panicking about being hit in the head.
No.
I looked down and immediately noticed a patch of hair was completely gone and burned
No.
to the scalp. It literally took months for this poor girl's hair to grow back over the bald spot.
That's awful. That's
She's like, how
terrible.
bad is it? She's like, "Yeah, this-" She's like, oh
Gone.
no.
How bad is it? You know,
Oh
it's fine.
gosh.
Oh my goodness.
On a scale of 1 to 10,
How big
we're
was this
talking
youth
like
group?
a 9.5.
Why would all right? They shouldn't have had Roman candles.
There's just so many
why would you
questions.
hate
There's
that?
like
so
those
many
are the
questions.
real fireworks. You're not
Those
supposed
what-
to do that.
Yeah. That's
Have you ever been shot at with a bottle rocket?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yes.
It's scary. I've only had it
Yes.
happen a couple
But a
times.
Roman candle's like
a
steps
Roman
up from
candle.
that.
It's
Because
like
they're like the
People
flame,
lose
like, that
fingers.
shoot out, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
And this girl took one to the head.
Homegirl
What a
lost her
shame.
hair.
Like this girl just took
Scalped her.
Yeah. And you know what the worst part is? It's always the most innocent, sweetest.
Homeschool
It was a homeschool-
kid.
Yeah, the homeschool girl that like her mom dropped her off, you know,
First
and she
time
was like just
new to
you
the
know,
area.
her mom was coming in 15 minutes, you know, because she didn't want to stay too late. And this poor innocent girl, and the person that shot the Roman candle was her husband, Cody. Like,
yeah.
Yes.
that is
poor
something-
innocent girl.
In my
Do you
years
know
of
how
youth ministry,
many
I've never
times
heard
he's
a
broke
kid.
bones in youth
This
ministry?
man. How many
You know
kids'
what,
bones has
actually,
he broken?
Okay. So he broke Randy's arm. literally picked her up and chucked her. She landed on her arm and it was broke. Launched a dodgeball at this poor kid's face. His glasses literally bust off of explode off of his face into pieces. There's like, I think I don't know, insane. We're like, you're done.
Yeah, he's
You're
not
done.
allowed to play dodgeball anymore.
I'm pretty
just because of
sure
that.
there was one other incident.
They actually retired him from
Yes.
We
He
found
knocked off
we found the
Trey's
public schooler.
glasses.
Roman candles are fun. Just put on a sweater and eye protection.
Love it. Put a helmet on, some
Yeah.
eyeglasses, some eyewear, and you're good to go.
No, it's like even if it hit her in the head,
Back up, Terry.
it doesn't have to be on fire. Just something hot would singe all the hair, right?
Put it in reverse.
This is a story from Emma. And if you guys have stories at ygcpodcast.com is where you can submit them. Before leaving on a youth group trip, a mom pulled me aside to tell me that her daughter had trouble sleeping and often sleepwalks. I assured her that this wouldn't be a problem and I would make sure to keep an eye on her. I wasn't even slightly worried because this particular student was usually very sweet. When bedtime came, all the girls went to sleep without a hitch. Except half an hour later, I woke up to banging and screaming. I entered the room to see this girl banging on the floor and hysterically laughing at the quote, people beneath us. When I tried to calm her down and get her back to bed, she started curring and spit at me and then tried to bite me. After I backed away, she started rolling on the floor, doing headstands, backbends, and saying some very truly scary things. There was nothing I could do to snap her out of it, and the other girls in the room were freaking out. So I went and got the youth pastor. He also tried to calm her down, but couldn't. Naturally, we tried calling her mom for advice, but she didn't pick up. In the end, we decided to move her to another room where another chaperone and I stayed up all night with this girl. At about 5 a.m., she finally collapsed on the floor, only to wake up an hour later, happy as a clam with no recollection of what had happened the night before. She also didn't know why she was in a new room, and when questioned about it, she said, "Yeah, I never wake up in the same place." The worst part, the conference was 3 days long, so we got to do it all over again the next night and the next night.
Yeah,
No.
baby, that's a demon.
Yeah.
That's not sleep apnea. That's a demon. There's
Manifest.
a demon on the inside of you. Sorry, that's a quote.
There's a demon.
It's a quote from a
Person.
preacher. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that one was a pretty easy diagnosis, I will say.
Yeah, that's not sleep apnea
Yeah, that's-
or sleepwalking.
Or sleepwalking.
Yeah.
No, when the back arched
Yep.
and she was talking to the people below, that
When she was
the dead giveaway.
convulsing and foaming at the mouth.
Yeah, there's
that's
a few
sign
signs, some
that,
indicators.
Someone said send her home. They couldn't get in touch with the mom.
Yeah, the mom was like, "Look, I'm gonna live
Take a break.
free
Mom
for the
knew it
next
was
3
going to
I'm gonna
happen.
get some
is
sleep
actually
tonight.
What was going on? Mom was like, I am not answering the phone.
Yeah.
I know what time this is going to happen.
Yes.
She's like, I do this every night.
Yeah.
These fools can take my man. Yeah, that's a demon.
Yeah.
That should have ended in exorcism, some holy water.
Yeah. Some holy water.
Someone said mom definitely saw the call and said, nope, that's your problem tonight. She knew.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one more story. This is from Dave. Dave said, I was woken up in the middle of the night by a frantic phone call from one of our female youth leaders telling me to go fix the problem on our church messenger chat. A grainy pixelated screenshot pops up from one of our youth boys, and upon further inspection, I realized that the youth is taking a fully exposed toilet selfie. Come to find out, his ex went on to all his group chats and posted that pic in pure spite when they broke up.
Got him.
I mean, seems like a general rule of life. Don't take pictures on the
true.
toilet naked. I don't know.
Write that down, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put that in your
Take a
notes. If you're like a
Take note.
14-year-old kid,
Yeah.
just don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Huh.
Because when you break up next week, I got you.
Got him.
I want to know how she was in the group chat. Maybe she grabbed his phone. I don't know. All right, this is something new. All these new things. When you haven't been on in 622 days, this is what happens, Pastor Chad. But this is what we call Would You Rather, our Would You Rather segment. This is where we take
gosh, these
two
are so
stories from
hard.
this episode.
Okay.
We pit them against each other. You got to let us know which one you would rather do.
Okay.
So the first option, let me find them here, is you are doing a firework war at your church. And you get shot in the head with a Roman candle. And you have a bald spot in the back of your head for 3 months. It's option number one.
Okay.
More brutal for Mindy. Maybe not for us guys.
Yep.
The second option is you have a very sweet girl go with you on a youth trip. 10:30 at night, starts convulsing in the room and you can't figure out why. Of course, we knew why. So that one wouldn't be that bad. However, would you rather deal with the girl or deal with a Roman candle?
The girl.
The girl. I'd punch her right in the chest. Bleed the blood of Jesus over her, and we're good. We're all sleeping that night. Nobody's staying
all
up late.
day. All day.
Actually, better yet, Mindy would punch her in the chest.
That's true. I would. Yep.
Chat, Firework for sure.
Yep.
Second option,
Who
casting
said
out the demon.
Firework?
Absolutely, Oliver.
I'm casting out demons. Yep.
We're
Yes.
teaching on
Oliver,
deliverance
we're
that
the
trip.
same.
Yeah, we
Yes.
are. Not messing with a demon. Give me the bald spot.
We'll be able to find out who's not Pentecostal
Right?
real quick in the
Easy.
chat.
Easy. Yeah. The Roman candle. Yeah.
It is 50-50 actually. So we the most
That's
recent
crazy.
poll I put up on Instagram, never had this happen before. It was like
Was it
50-50 for the
BBL one?
longest time. And then I posted a screenshot. There were 700-800 people that had voted at the time on each one, and it was exactly the same.
That's crazy.
So maybe this one will be a split as well.
I don't
But,
know, guys. Come on.
Yes.
I would end up in jail for how I deal with the demonic kid. Give me the firework.
Digital footprint. That's
Good
all I
one,
have to say.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, Pastor Chad and Mindy, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Youth Group
Yes.
Chronicles Instagram Live. Thank you so much. And if you guys have stories you'd like to send into the show, stories@ygcpodcast.com is where you can submit them. And we get people asking all the time, when are you going live? When are you going live? You can get an email notification and a text message notification by joining our mailing list updates at YGC updates. I can't remember what. ygcpodcast.com/updates. There we go. You can go to our website and sign up. I need to write that down somewhere, actually. You can know when we go live, and you can join us on Instagram, read all these comments with us, and be here in the studio, get a behind-the-scenes look. But until next week, thank you guys for listening to the show. Pastor Chad and Mindy, thank you very much.